he was wider than me. He was taller than me by like 6 inches, and I'm 6'2", and he had to have been 6'7". Like I said, I've got family members that are 6'5", so I knew he wasn't that tall. Like he wasn't 6'5", so I was like, he's got to be 6'7", and he was just huge. I was like, Jesus Christ! I wanted to say something, but I was like, we're in the bathroom, so I can't. Imagine going up to somebody in the bathroom going, dude, you're huge. Like, no, not like that. I was like, all right, can't say anything. But yeah, no, this is absolutely. Either way, thank you. Oh man. Yeah, he was on the phone doing some work. He didn't have like a mongoloid voice. I don't know why. That's probably not nice to say. I like, I assume people with gigantism that have that Andre the Giant voice had, right? Yes. And I don't know why I called them mongoloids. That's not nice. That's probably not PC anymore. Probably not PC anymore. I don't even know where it came from. I don't even know if it's a derogatory word. I okay. I always thought it was just a word to describe large people. I probably will. Yeah. Incognito, yes, correct. Oh. We got a pill for that. We we got a pill for that. Our scientists have been working on mongoloidism for years, and we got something for it. Hims does have everything. Like, what do y'all do? We do everything. Everything. We get our medicine cheaper in Mexico and we sell it to you at a raised price. At a raised price. Oh no. Yeah. They could have just changed the name altogether, right? And they wouldn't have to have hims and hers. They would just us. Us. Hmm. Oh no, it's a very racist. It's a very racist word. Oh man. Oh no. The meaning is referred related to a group of people formerly considered to constitute a race of humans having Asian ancestry. And yeah, oh, guess wait, wait. No, 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 no. It's really worse. It's really worse. Um, or related to or affected with Down syndrome. I did not know that because I'll tell you where I heard the word from. I heard the word from the movie Pulp Fiction. and, and I don't think I ever understood it, but I understood the context because he was talking like, oh, no, no, and that's why I thought it was correct. But, but yeah, I had no clue there was a Down syndrome connotation to it. So did not know that. Two left feet, yeah. Oh no, I a deformity, yeah. No, okay. Hmm. Yeah. Is it like does it look like foot bindings? Like, have you seen, like, the foot bindings that they do to get the women in small shoes? That thing looks really bad. Your toes just do weird shapes and yeah. 'Cause please don't make me look at it. So please give me a Oh, mm, mm, mm. That doesn't sound good. Mhm. Yeah. Like, "Oh, no, I now that's gotta get taken out the the lexicon." Mhm. I didn't have when Clarentino, Pulp Fiction came out, I couldn't just Google it real quick, like, "Hey, what does that mean?" So I had to take the context clues from the way that she was the way it was being used, and that's I so assumed it was, like, giant people, like Andre the Giant. Because when I heard her do the impersonation, I was like, "Oh, that's a deep voice Andre the Giant kinda." Mm, that's not very good. Oh, man. Oh, no. I thought you were gonna say the Enigma itself. The Oh, okay, that's oh, oh, ginormous. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of players. That's a solid player. That's a Mm, woo. So that means that some people may be able to resign their own players. But looking at T. Higgins. Right? Mhm. Mhm. Yes. Oh, sure. Mid luck. Yep. Yep. The extra 23 million helps. Yeah, but you got to keep Burrow happy. Yeah, find defense in the draft. You know what I mean? Y- Are you going to find T. Higgins in the draft? Possibly, maybe, but probably not. So yeah. So and what the combine's next week, right? I thought I saw something saying that Mm, so mhm. Yeah, probably so. They were talking on the radio here. Are the Cowboys truly entertaining trading Micah Parsons? I don't know. What would that's what I was what would a good return be for Micah Parsons? A first? Mhm. who could Yes, that's one of the problems. Like, who could, if one, who could give that much up and be in a good position to want to need his services? First of all, everyone would probably want his services, but you got to think a team that's got to be it's trying to get to the that next level. Uh every time I say that team trying to get to that next level, you know the team that comes to my head? Buffalo. Every time I'm like, oh, that team that needs to get over that hump, the first person I think of is Buffalo. Um, so that's two first is a lot. And ooh, yeah, it's at least up first. Yeah. That yes, I've seen Matt Stafford to the Giants, and I didn't like that. Not for a first. Not for a first. That's what I was seeing. Hmm. Yeah, no. Yeah, I've been trying to see what my team is possibly doing, and man, there's not much to do. It's all rumors and what things. What would you do if you were the Giants? And should they go for a veteran quarterback and a rookie like neighbors once? I'm like, first of all, everyone should want that. That should have been like that was my goal almost from mid-season. All right, and still I still hold stand, but whoever the Pittsburgh doesn't want, that should be our number one goal. Don't even not Russ Fields, right? Oh, that doesn't sound good. Mm, mm. I would rather go for Trevor Lawrence than Aaron Rodgers, only just based on youth and because they can't keep doing this. I understand that they are um going to the playoffs. They need a franchise quarterback, right? Like just a handful of years, and that's not Aaron Rodgers. Where is Aaron? Where could Aaron Rodgers go? Oakland? No, you get him away from my team. I don't want that. I don't want that. Oh my God, watching that Enigma, I don't want that. Oh my God. But I I was like, I think you could have found a better tattoo artist. That does look you're rich and you could have it didn't look great. It's okay. But yeah, I can see Oakland. They don't know what they're gonna do at quarterback. Their quarterback, they fell in the draft. It's gonna be difficult for them to draft a quarterback. They may want to wait another year or two. They may sign him to something stupid like a 2, 3 year deal again. So and now you got not Brett, Brady making GM decisions basically as a part owner. So I don't know. I like that because I just don't see another place for him that's going to be able that guarantees him a starting spot with possibly no risk of a rookie coming in. No Kirk Cousins treatment. There's probably not going to be a Kirk Cousins treatment from. Oh no, he's just going to follow in Brett Favre's footsteps. I think he wouldn't mind it. Like I wouldn't mind throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson if I was a like, you know, I wouldn't mind that. Be reunited with his boy Aaron Jones. Oh, okay, he might not be there. So, no, maybe. Yeah, because I saw something that was like, they don't Vikings don't know what's going to go on with Daniel Jones. I saw Daniel Jones rumored to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was like, okay, maybe. But he's got to really show some improvement. He's still young. He was a franchise quarterback or the future of a team. I wouldn't call him a franchise quarterback, but still, um, maybe you can get the best out of him. Maybe he works in that system. He's still very injury prone, so I don't know. That's one of the biggest things about him. The man can't play a full season, so I don't know. I don't know. I saw that the Rams are predicted to have the last place team of next year. Yeah, I think I saw. I know that was the weirdest thing. It was like, yeah, predicted to be. I don't know how they be predicted to be worse than the Giants, but that I'm guessing they're assuming full rebuild. I'm thinking they're taking the assumption of Stafford not being there, Cup not being there, full rebuild is what I'm thinking. Yep. hmm Still got Kyron and Puka, but if you ain't got a quarterback, that's kind of rough. He could come in and be a rental with that squad and take them to a playoff if he's decent. Because you know what you have. If you like, they know who knows Stafford better than them. If they don't think Stafford has anything left in the tank, true. But if that's what I'm saying, that I shouldn't hear his name mentioned anywhere in trades if you think that's the guy you want. So that is good. That is good. Mhm. Okay. I I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care anything what these draft experts say. I I don't really understand what makes you a draft expert. That's one time. Yes. You could and we'll forget all about the wrong that you said. Schefter, not Schefter, with the glasses, right? Yeah, I know he's Mel Kiper with the glass. Yeah. That's awesome. The 90s, yes. and he was and he was getting stuff right. He hasn't been right since the 90s. I was joking. You can't take a joke. It was just a joke. Even when it's not even part of it. You gotta you're way too early draft, 2 weeks after the draft. Uh-huh. And then your early draft in June sometime around with Hmm. Just put your draft expert. We don't even know half the guys. We don't do any research. Can't say who are you? Uh, drifting? Oh no, drafting the taking this. Yeah, okay. Thunder or something. Right? Days of Thunder. Yes, we got to it. You got you draft up CAD drafts. And like, info draft. Like, I know a little bit about that, but I'm more of a overall draft expert. I'm very good at rough drafts. Expert at rough drafts. Yes, last year you were zoned in. Yeah, last year I had two picks in the top 10. So yeah. Hmm. With my team this year, the third pick is tricky, right? I don't know. I'm really not caring too much about the third pick. I really hope that we can get a quality later on in the draft because the third pick with the Giants, unless they go best available, which might be the best thing for them to do at that pick, um, it's going to be a tough draft for everyone involved in it. Like everyone is going to, but I think they can find a lot in rounds two, three, like a lot in two and three. So I'm hoping that the totality of the draft is good. I don't have high hopes for three. It's just a weird position to pick at. The needs that we have is quarterback. And although I don't listen to draft experts, I kind of get what they're saying with not having a clear first round grade on a quarterback. I get that. But let's keep it real. Did they really have six first round grades on all the guys that went last year? Like there's no way McCarthy was a first round grade. Michael Penix, maybe, but I don't think he's a first round grade. And Bo Nix, now, we know we did, but going into the season, there's no way some of these people would have been, in my opinion, first round grades in those things. But they go first round because teams have needs. So there's for you to say you don't have a rating on there is just you just saying I don't like any of the quarterbacks out there. But there's gonna be two to three quarterbacks drafted in the first round, maybe more. Well, I doubt if it's more. two two is yes, yes. Shador Sanders, yeah. Hmm. But the compound always gives you someone. They brought someone into the locker room. They got him on the whiteboard and he impressed. There's always going to be someone's draft stock that moves up and they possibly give him a first round grade. Uh yeah, there's always somebody that's like, oh well, I'm hearing that such and such they were really wild by him, and it's like, okay, who cares? Like I don't hold too much stake into the combine because if your job is scouting and you wait to the last minute of the of the combine to determine if that's your guy, even though you've probably scouted that guy or seen tape on that guy for the last 3 years of college, you're not doing your job, right? So the combine to me doesn't hold as much weight. It's mainly for the fans, in my opinion. It's for us to see guys because we didn't do our research like a professional, a scout would. Yes. Mhm. Yeah. I told you. Yeah. I got other guys on this list. This is guy number 3. He's coming up soon. Yes. Yes. But and it does help you evaluate the guys you wanna bring in for your you wanna evaluate further to come into the building and do your interviews that way. So it gives you that first impression of them, even though some of these guys have probably been talked to for a while, or hey, scouts have come in to watch their games and hey, I'm such and such from the Giants. It's nice to meet you. You know what I'm saying? This is not the first time that those scouts are talking to some of those players, but it's the first time they get to see them in the organization and see for a job interview, which is good. It's different. Watching them in their work and watching them interview and talk to people is totally different. So yeah, but that's what I like seeing. I like seeing insane numbers on bench press. For me is bench press and 40-yard dash. The rest of it, I don't really care. Broad jump, I don't care about. Uh-huh. The sideways, the length of the field, the short fight, yeah. And then yeah, turn up field. That who was the tight end that caught passes and forgot to drop the ball and thought it wasn't Browers. It was another tight end. Oh yeah. 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 Which are usually not early first round people. Mhm. Which yeah, I can see that. Last year was a huge run on wide receiver, so there's gonna have to be some guys that get after the quarterback. There's always those guys. Whether we know them or not, there's some beast out there who's gonna come out. The one that was destroying that dude in the Senior Bowl. I, I just I don't know. I like that. I like the measurables as well. Like, oh, this quarterback's got 9.25-inch hands. That's not good. Like, oh no. Your genetics has ruined you. Now you can I know you've played football all your life and we've seen tape on you for the last 40 years, but those small hands, they're not gonna work. Or the oh, Mhm. Well, the thing of that's what I'm saying. Like, would you say you said blessed BPA best player available, but if Shador or Cam is sitting at 3, are they still the best player? If they're not, that's still not going BPA. That's not that's need versus BPA because the Giants would then pick them versus getting the best player truly available on a draft ranking board into account. Yes, yeah, of course, of course. Um, it's a matter of just who's available and what those other teams do. Um, do they have even though Tennessee has a need for a quarterback, is their need for a quarterback? Is this the quarter? Are these the quarterbacks they want? Is Travis Hunter the guy that they want? Is you know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. That's why I think some people in their mocks have one of those guys fall into the Giants because like maybe we don't love this guy for 5 years. Which one of them is going to be the best guy for us? Is it going to be Travis Hunter? Because I actually think that Travis Hunter is the third pick. It's weird though, because that Swiss Army knife thing is just it's kind of weird. He was the Heisman Trophy winner, and great athlete. Uh, took care of his body, played what 90 something, 97% of all the snaps. That's unheard of. Mhm. So it's going to be interesting to see what team wants to get him and how they use him. Uh, but he does everything, honestly. If you want to say who the best player in college football was, it probably was him. Right? So that should get you something. And he was a 5-star recruit when what's name recruited him. And it was weird that he was going to Jackson State and he got to play under he wanted to play under the tutelage of Dion. So he's been good. It's not like it was a surprise. He's been good ever since high school. He was the number one rated guy coming out of high school at the time. And now he's the number one rated college player coming out. So honestly, you might not be able to, he might be a can't miss. Like it's rare to see the number one recruited guy in high school, out of high school, become the Heisman Trophy winner, who's also the number one, but the best player in college. So if he can succeed on all those levels, there's probably something to his level success. So he could possibly be the best player in the draft. And that may be difficult for a team like Tennessee or Cleveland to pass up. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. Yes. Pretty good's being generous, but but they drafted him what 2 years ago? Is that in the first round too? Second. Is it too early to give up on him? Is it that he's void of talent and you need to go out there and get but Mhm. Who- Mhm. Mhm. And we didn't talk about this, but Miles Garrett kind of requested a trade. That's what I'm saying. Every team, the Bills need a little when just because you got it, like I said, going to a team where you just need to get over that hump to get there. That's the type of player. Hmm. Hmm. Chiefs, they get him. Yeah. Man, and I keep saying Russell Wilson or one of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is Jameis Winston growing on me as a bridge quarterback? I kind of do like Jameis. I just keep listening to people, his former teammates, talk about him in a glowing manner. Like they absolutely love him. But has he showed that he's a bad quarterback? I tell him some people do, but 30 for 30 touchdowns is pretty impressive. Even though he had 30 and 5,000 yards and 30 interceptions. Yeah, yeah, I can live with that. I can't. But listen, you gotta take the good with the bad. But I'm not saying as once again, I'm not saying as the franchise. Hand him the keys to the franchise. I'm saying as a backup, as a someone in the building who's could maybe talk for like ride a team up and be the bridge quarterback, a decent bridge quarterback. I don't know. It's growing on me. It's growing on me. Mhm. Yes. Uh-huh. Mhm. Drake May. Yes. And they called. They tried. Mhm. They have a type. Mhm. I think uh, I think it goes down to a lot because they have to have a quarterback before the draft, right? And I think a lot of the Giants draft goes into the quarterback that they select to be that bridge quarterback, that veteran quarterback. If that veteran quarterback is Justin Fields, I don't know if they draft a quarterback at 3. If that quarterback is Russ, um, Jameis, or then yes, the draft process looks different, right? But if you get a younger quarterback like a Justin Fields, who I think Dayball would mind having, then our quarterback, then we may not be drafting a quarterback in the first round, and then that makes our third pick look a little bit better. They may even trade out of it. I'll be honest with you. If well, I think you can definitely trade someone like so. Let's say the Giants get Justin Fields, and now I think Justin Fields becomes the Giants quarterback for the foreseeable future. I think he's young enough, he's shown enough talent that the Giants would give it a shot, right? He's a veteran, so you've got people like Dayball and Shane, whose job is on the line. A bad quarterback going 3 wins again, someone's getting fired. I don't care what new quarterback you get out there, someone's losing their job. It's just happening. I think so. Getting a guy like Justin Fields, who is a veteran, who's been in the league a few years, can play the position. Showed he can play the position. Looks like a guy that Dayball might like in the fact that he's got legs. He can throw the ball. I think if they get him right now, you're saying the Giants went and got that guy. Who else in the draft? That third pick to me becomes something good. If either it goes quarterback in a draft, then someone goes out there and if they want Travis Hunter, they can get him. I personally think the Giants could take Travis Hunter, but they can also trade that pick for a guard, like you said, that they might want to get later on because they definitely need some guard help. Right? So, or a defensive tackle right next to Dexter Lawrence, like something like they can get that, use that pick to get more picks for. Or if let's say Travis Hunter goes first, right? And either Cam or Shador Sanders is sitting at 3. A team like Oakland may want to make that move up. So the Jets, but there are teams that might want to move up. So if they get, I think if they get Justin Fields, their options open up. Like with the older quarterback, they ain't got many options. They're not trading out of that spot. They're at that time they're looking to see if they could possibly trade up one spot to assure that they get someone, right? So options open up if Justin Fields is your guy, but I don't. I think if I think this Pittsburgh Steelers should keep him. I just that's why I haven't even brought that up because I've been saying Russ because why wouldn't the Pittsburgh Steelers keep him? I yes, I think so too. But I just don't. The reason why I've never brought it up is because I just don't see why Pittsburgh will let him go. I just I don't see it. So no, they got to sign him. Saints, still Saints. Like it's yeah. There shouldn't be any free agents going to the free agent quarterbacks going to the Browns. Yeah, mm, yeah. It opens up the draft. The 3 spot become oh no because it got pulled because he pulled it out of the draft. Oh no, he couldn't win number 1, and there wouldn't be enough money to get it out of Neighbors' hands. He couldn't buy it from Neighbors, right? So just yeah, that may make not make him want to go to the Giants if he can't have number 1. If I can't have number 1, I don't want it. It doesn't matter. Hmm. He's not a ruining a good thing. Mhm. Mhm. No. Because they would just use Twitter, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it still also has the name recognition, which lowers your pool of people. Let them exist and just keep just turn it. Like yeah, I'm not a huge fan of those people. You have to get the big names on it. I've got a ton of them. Hey, listen, they got you got anime for that now. They're getting better. But like, listen, when I was watching, I sent you a text. This is a proper punishment. Like this is a proper bet losing because it is tough to watch. Oh, you couldn't get to the Super Bowl stuff because that's what the 40-minute mark was. That stuff I found interesting. Like so their relationship was funny. He said that he realized that he couldn't talk football with Brett. Like that wasn't their relationship was going to be. Brett didn't want to tutor him, and Brett did. So he said, "I would have to just talk about other stuff outside of football, so that to maintain a friendship." Because it, and I started thinking about because the whole, oh boy, the whole thing about is they're trying to make Roger seemed like this intellect, this genius, and I didn't like, right? But I do see how him and Brett Favre could butt heads because I remember hearing a story about Brett Favre not knowing what a cover two was. He had been he had been an NFL player for years, Pro Bowl, and somebody he said they were talking about it and they said cover two, and he looked over to somebody's like, "What's a cover two?" And he's like, "Brett, come on, you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, no, no, no. I hear the term a lot. What's a cover two?" He's like, "Well, it's just when the safeties play two zone high safety." He's like, "Oh, I know what that is." He just didn't know the terminology, right? So he knows football, but that just shows you that the some of the complexity of the sport, the stuff that Aaron Rodgers probably geeks out about, they can't have those conversations, right? Because that's just not who Brett is, and so they just didn't get along with that part. But that was interesting to me because that made me think. I was like, yeah, Brett doesn't know cover two. You know, he doesn't want to talk about. blitz packages and like he don't want to talk about that football stuff. He plays football by ear. Like he gets on the field and he just plays football. Exactly. That's how Brett plays. So I didn't like the fact they tried to make him this intellect. No. Yeah, but moderately. Did you see him doing numbers? Were you impressed? I wasn't that impressed. But yeah. He's like, I can do 25 times 25. Like, I don't care, sir. And this is how I do it. I do it. I'm like, okay, fine, fine. And they kept asking him other stuff, and he was just a little slow. It took him a little slow. I'm like, well, you're just doing math in your head. I can do math in my head. So, it is. It was slow. I remember stopping. I was like, these episodes are an hour long. Oh my god. You didn't you didn't miss anything. I would say the one thing that I found weird about it is how many biographies doesn't talk about your childhood. He does not talk about he said that his family thought he was soft, so that made him tougher. I'm like, he's just trying this whole thing is trying to portray this how in his head how he sees himself. Like it's not a true in-depth thing. It's just oh my god. It was there were some parts of it that I did like. And I truly think that he says at one point in time in the story, he's like, there's two different Aaron Rodgers. He says there's two different Aaron Rodgers. There is the one who is the extrovert on the teammate, and I'm rah rah, and I can talk in front of people. And then there's the introvert that just wants to be left alone and is happy in silence. Right. That's in the first 5 minutes. Yes. Yes. It's like it's like in quiet or in silence. Yeah. It was it. But he says that, and I said, "Oh, okay. That is why his teammates like him. That is why people will play with him and want to go play with him because the person he is on the field is nothing like the jerk that he is off the field." That's that's the reason why Devontae Adams will go to the Jets to play with him because the person he sees isn't isn't the jerk telling like there was some things that he was doing. I was like, I the part where he was talking about his recovery, right? And the thing about that, which I thought was kind of funny, they glanced over it like we'll never know if he was going to be able to come back from that injury. The answer is no, you couldn't have, and but they purposely portray it like he could have. Right? The way it's cut, yeah, the doctors are like, "Oh, yeah, no, it's yeah, no." The doctor's being realistic. "Oh no, you're doing good with your recovery. Yeah, it's impressive. There's a lot of healing going on. This is really good for a 40-year-old person." He's like, "I can come back in 3 weeks, can I?" And the doc goes, it's like, but You're doing really good. I would because he's paying her. Like he's paying her out of her pocket, and she's promoting her title was founder of this company, right? How often is the founder doing all of the massaging and all of the, unless it's just her? Exactly. He's either promoting her business or like she how great is she? I'm not gonna say she's not good at her job, but I'm just saying she's there for promotions. She's there for promotion. And if Aaron Rodgers is your best client, no, yeah, you can come back early. We definitely 40 years old, and you're trying to make it the fastest comeback in history. Sure, why can't? Why not? November. Who tells their was it I would say recovery therapist or recovery doctor to turn up the treadmill because I want to go faster? And she does it. Like that's not what you're here for. I determine the speed and pace that you go at. Yes, you don't get to make that decision. And that was what I was seeing. There's a scene and he's like, they're like, I'm coming back in 3 weeks. I'm on who are you? Like, you know, like we get to make these that I'm and everyone goes, I guess Rogers is coming back in 3 weeks. But he didn't do anything. They didn't show him warming up in practice fields. They didn't show him doing anything. It's cut in a way that purposely leaves it vague to whether or not he could have come back if the team was winning. The answer is there was not a chance in hell he was coming back. They start the thing saying, well, Aaron Rodgers tears his Achilles. That's a 9 to 12 month injury. And you're trying to tell me he's going to come back in 3 months? I don't care what you gave that man. I don't care if you took his leg off and gave him a brand new leg. There's nothing. Yep. it's it's I that's the part of it that I didn't like. It's the trying to make himself seem smart, the trying to force the whole thing that he could have come back. It's just weird. It's just and we didn't even get to the weird parts. This next episode. well, well, Marshawn Lynch is the funny part of it. Yeah. He's like, yeah, that game he had 23 completions. Like most of those, they're counting screen passes to me. He's like, I would most of them basically handles. I did all the work. Like, Marshawn, you's crazy. It's, yeah, they talk about like watching his progression. Like I at some point in time, I don't think Aaron was the Aaron Rodgers that he is now when he was younger. Something changed. That's what I was looking to see. What changed from when he was in college, early in his career, and it might have been the early success. I think he starts calling it the ego monsters or something like that. He comes up with some term, and I don't know if that just got but it seems like at some point in time something flipped. And now you didn't finish the last 20 minutes. They talk about the Super Bowl, like how it ends, right? Like their Super Bowl in 2010. Like he's like, I remember thinking when I won that Super Bowl, is this really what all I wanted to do? Like he felt like that instant wait, like, okay, I've trained for something my entire life and I finally did it and I'm not happy and I don't know if this is what I want to do. Right? Like I did all this and this is I don't feel as happy as I want. And that's yeah. And he's like, well, he won it 4 years into becoming a starter, right? Like he won it quickly after becoming a starter. And he's like, well, what do I do now? What do you do now? You win. You keep winning. Like what I understand that you may not feel it doesn't feel like you thought it would feel. You keep winning. There's not a question. But I think But you didn't. He's never won it the second time. And he was just, and that's what leads into the second episode. Like it ends with him talking about how it didn't bring him joy, so he starts to try to see if he can find joy outside of football in his personal life. And they start showing him uh putting mask on and doing like that's the second episode is when we're going to start getting crazy. Like that's what the ayahuascas and all those different things. You thought that was be- mm-hmm. I was looking at the draft that they were doing. That was a super heavy running back draft. Uh, Cedric Benson, Cadillac, Cadillac Williams. It was a super. I'm like, what? I was because I'm thinking, I'm like, what did all these people draft ahead of him? Running backs. They went running back crazy. He played good with the Bengals. He was good. He was. Oh, sorry. You ride that same horse out. You don't swap horses. Oh, oh man. Yes, exactly. Oh, oh, that was funny. Uh, he says he goes on to say that he didn't think Green Bay was going to draft him. Um, yes. And he's like the Favre situation. I forgot how crazy it was. I forgot how Brett Favre retired and then came back and then wanted to come back and Packers like, ah, we done. We're done with this. So, oh, Brett. I mean, Rogers. Hmm. And said, if you're at 4 or 5, yeah, 5, I'm drafted. And it's a Cadillac Williams. It's, I was like, oh, that didn't work out. Didn't they win a championship though shortly after that? No, they won it Gruden's first year there with what's the name squad. So that they would have won, they couldn't have won it that year. They were picking fifth. So they couldn't have won it that year. But yeah, he would have he'd had a decent team though. But rookie him, I don't would have been as good. West Coast running the West Coast offense with Gruden. I think Warwick Dunn was still there. They still had a solid defense. They didn't need Cadillac Williams. They definitely needed a quarterback. I think they were still running Gus Johnson out there. Was it in 2004 though, his draft? Nope, it's got to be 2005 draft. Yep. Who was it? Got to be Gus Johnson has been one of them. Oh, they just drafted him. Oh, that's a really bad team. There was some good people that draft. Looking at Hall, mm, former Giants wide receiver. There was still squad. There was still them. They and it was still solid on defense. Why'd they pick fifth? Who did they get that trade from? You said they finished 11-5? That could have been it. Yeah. Because it doesn't say that it was a traded pick. So either hmm. Yeah. In that in the documentary, I was like, oh, they were showing their run to the Super Bowl, and I was like, oh, uh Derek's not gonna like this. NFC title game is them versus the Bears. They show no highlights from that game. It's the only game that they don't show any highlights from. They just do like still shots. Because they were the sixth seed. They were the sixth seed. Went on a run. Yeah, I was like, oh, they were showing all sorts of clips, and I was like, oh, don't show that one. And they didn't. They don't show anything, so you don't have to. It sounds like that's the reason why you hate him, sir. He's not making it easy. He's not making it easy to like him. He's not. I take it you're very happy about the situation that's going. Beat my team in the NFC Championship, and this is what you get. Oh, yeah, he talks about his career and what I found funny, not funny. He said the time he got the first year he got there, he's talking about Brett being there. Brett threw 29 interceptions. He's like that wasn't very good. He's like, and I was like, you are becoming how Brett was when he or last year. It looks like you're old Brett Favre. It's kind of crazy to watch. Like so, he. but then he gets another contract someplace because then all he's got to do is show that he can still play, right? That who is crazy because he's not gonna. He's going to be very similar to Brett Favre. But the problem is he left the team that has uh any remembrance from him. He's no longer on the Green Bay Packers, right? That was the only reason that was saving bread, right? The Green Bay Packers remember the good old days. Like, so he could stick around longer than he should have. He doesn't have that loyalty. There's no team loyalty for anyone that's will like who's going to take a 41 going on 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers to start, and he's not going to want to mentor a young person. We already seen it. He didn't want to mentor love. Oh. Yeah, I just don't see it. Like maybe like I said, not Oakland. I keep saying Oakland, LA. I mean Las Vegas. I just don't I don't see. Yeah, but they got to move up to get him. And yeah, but the draft, he's a free agent, right? So when free agency hits, he's gonna be when he get the most looks. And if he's not picked up quickly, oh, that's a bad sign. That's a backup sign. That's a hey, number eight. You're now making $8 million a year, Mr. Three MVPs. You're a backup quarterback. You retire. You retire. No, of course not. Of course not. But you also risk doing the Kirk Cousins treatment. Now you already see that. Like, oh yeah, no, you can start first. We'll have you, and here's your replacement. Right? You wish only the worst things in life to happen to Aaron Rodgers. Oh. Oh my God, they kept showing. They showed the Pat McAfee interview. He's like, anything is possible. And then it was ESPN says Aaron Rodgers says anything is possible when he's come back. I'm like, I hated that. It was crazy. People, the thought, and he was purposely walking. Did not want to be seen with a cane or crutches. He was purposely trying to give the illusion that he could play. I think it's because now he was doing we found out he was doing the show. At the time I didn't know, but now you got to show something like to make a compelling show, especially when they probably originally thought he was going to have played the whole season. They were coming off a hard knocks. They, mm-hmm. Yep, yep. And he pivoted real quick. He pivoted real quick. I can't let them see me, so I gotta make it think that we were gonna play because they probably was like the studio's like, all right, so what are we having our documentary for again? Why are we still going around with you? I might play, I might come back. You could change it into my comeback story. Like, I don't think you're gonna play, sir. I don't think you're gonna play. He's he tells you he thanks his parents for telling him making him think he was soft or thinking he was soft because that's what made him tougher. he realized that I had to be the toughest SOB in the world because my parents thought I was soft. And I'll be like, I'd like to, the parents like, we never said that. We went to every one of his games and he was we're good. And then cried for it. And that you just sent the videos of him on his tricycle. I got it myself, mom. I got it myself. I found it weird. We didn't get any story. Like the his childhood starts his senior year of high school. Like it's like not senior year, but his freshman year of high school it starts. No, he mhm. This is this is called this is bullshit. A great bunch of guys. He goes to work every day. Yeah, he's had this plot of land for. We've had this plot of land for some years. This is. The only thing to talk about the earliest memory he says he has is watching Joe Montana beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl, and that's what he made him want to be a football player. Like watching his family, who were all Niners fans, cheer for their favorite team. Like whatever. I really wanted to see ayahuasca and Trippy Aaron, but I gotta wait till next episode because the first episode was called The Becoming. I won't be doing that. I won't be doing that. It's an hour long. It felt like punishment. Like I said, it feels like a proper like had I had to write a book report on it, that would have been a really proper, that's like a fantasy football punishment. That would have been like, oh, okay. All right, you got me, guys. I won't come in last next year. Hmm. Yeah. It is. It is. It is. Oh man. Well, we're not really promoting it. It's not like hey guys, you're listening. Go watch the Enigma. I'd say no, don't you? Yeah. I I will tell you your loathing for him is why you beat me in the scoring. It, we when we started when we started the bet, it was tied. And it was after that, you was like, I will not lose. I hate Aaron Rodgers. You had a totally different mindset. And you said, I will not be losing. And then you manned up and still decided to watch it. I wouldn't. Like, this is bad. And I would have watched it. They show him they show him do a pep talk to his team while on crutches. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. But we all know what. I don't think anyone really expected him to come back. It was so bad. Hmm. It was- they had a good game, and then Zach Wilson fumbles the ball. Oh. That game was close. The defense got him back in the game, and then they stunk. They need everything now. Yeah, the Jets stink. I did laugh. I It's maybe because I am not a Jets fan. I had never heard MetLife Stadium called Jet Life Stadium, which is what he says in the I was like, Jet Life Stadium? Where is that at? I'd never heard that. I'd never heard that term for the stadium. Maybe the fans call it that. They're losers. So, I don't- oh my God. Yes. You c- Coming from Greeny and Rex Ryan. Was- I picked him. I picked him to be comeback player of the year. I, egg on my face. Egg, my face got egg all on it. Except win games. Oh no. See, now I know that's not legit. Now it just makes sense that the Browns should have Deshaun Watson. That thing is hideous. That thing is hideous. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be episode two. I'm all for the ayahuasca trips. I want to see what he's talking about, and I want to see how he got fulfilled from life outside of football, because if football apparently doesn't do it for him. That's why he's probably never won again, because he just doesn't bring him joy. He realized it's self sabotage. He realized that winning doesn't bring him the joy that he thought, so he just doesn't want to win anymore. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. But he does it to the best of his ability every single time. Maybe he gets him. Maybe we'll see. We will see. Next episode is next week. Like it hasn't come out yet. Oh no, that hour you just can't watch that hour in one sitting. I like to watch it so it's fresh on my brain because I would have forgotten anything because I don't want to like keep any reserve any space in my brain for this. I They really thought like I'm trying to figure out why he got a show, a documentary. They really and now because of the first they really thought that was going to be a championship season. That they were documenting the yes, that was the point. Document this season of him coming back to a different team that has everything. Somebody paid him money for that, and it just wasn't that. They had to pivot somewhere to Mhm. It got bad. And then I imagine I imagine that on episode 3 it's gonna be something like, "Wait till next year." And but we already know what next year brought, and it was even worse almost. It might have. So they would have had to pivot again when they stuck. His girlfriend that was rubbing his foot on the plane. Was like, I did have a thing. I collected baseball cards when I was younger. Did you ever play that game that he was playing? Yeah, I never played it. I didn't know it was a dice game. Didn't know it was, it was- Mm. Oh, yes. Hmm. You have a chart that says what that role is. Oh, base hit, strike. Like that would be like if my dad would have seen me playing that game when I was younger. He, you know that click, yo, go outside, nerd. That is what my dad. It's like, are you telling me you're out rolling dice to to play baseball? Just go play baseball. What are we doing? What are we doing? That is what my dad would have said had he seen me doing that. Oh, side nerd. Mm-mm. And they hated watching me play get video. He's like, so you're telling me you're playing a game with someone playing a game? He couldn't get it. Like, why don't you just go play basketball? Well, I can't be Michael Jordan and dunk. Like, dad, you see what I just did with Michael Jordan? You see me play. I can't do that. You can't get 9 listen, I did. I definitely did. We used to call Invisible Man on first. We we had no catchers, right? So we just drew a square on the wall, and if you beamed a ball and hit that strike zone, runners out at home. And so yeah, I we just used to hit the ball over the fence. It might as well just been batting practice. We was just trying to hit the ball as far as we can. Yes. Mhm. Okay. Mm. Mm. Mhm. Mhm. But just pepper it wherever you wanted to. This is baseball. This is base I love how you made excuse for the fact. Not going, not going yard like everyone else. Yep. I'm hitting 400. You guys out there batting 200, but you're getting you got a few home runs. You got a few. trying for that long ball. You got. Oh man. Uh, I didn't even play baseball in like a field. We had just like park, which is concrete, and that's where we played baseball. So there was no sliding, right? There was none of that. Even though I wanted to slide so bad. Oh my god, I wanted to slide so bad to a point where we was in Georgia at my family reunion, and we played baseball. And I the first bit of dirt I saw, I slid into it. Slid into a red ant pile. They crawled. I I said they were all over me. They were all over me. My grandmother's, I came running into the house fully clothed. They didn't even take clothes. They just dumped me in the pool in the shot in the tub. Just dumped me in the tub, fully clothed. I had ants all over me. I couldn't wait to slide. I could not wait to slide. I will tell you honestly, that's the last time I ever slid again. I never slid again. Never slid. And it wasn't like I'm glad I didn't go head first, right? It wasn't a head. It was a nice. Oh, oh, it hurt so bad. My foot. Oh my god, little bumps. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. Red, itchy. Mm, yeah. Never slid again. I don't care where it was at. It could be red ant piles. You never know. Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Until that, I remember. Oh man, I just got. I was young. I was a kid. You could just pick me up and throw me in the bathtub, just clothes fully on. And I'm just like, let me take the clothes. Like, no, we gotta get the dance off you. We can't get-" You exactly. They did not want those clothes to go someplace. And those ants get in the house and everything, everything. You'll wash it off and just we'll take it off while you're in the bathtub. Yeah. All right, but yeah, that's a good place.
Recording